Filmo's street woman, treading water in a life of hard choices. Wrong decisions, limited alternatives, stock pens are embedded in her eyes and mouth. Once she knew she was beautiful. If you look closely, you can still feel the edges of the fire that burned in her eyes, on her skin, in the way her back arched across Filmo's street corners. She wore her nails sculpted in red in those days when this street was ours. She sat on a bar stool, snapped her fingers, and hunched her shoulders as smoke rose between the bandstand and counter, and the scene got hot and sultry, and the music pressed out the doors and down the street. Further down, she slid in at Jack's, had another cigarette lit, flashed her teeth, laughed as the club spun tight, shoulder to shoulder, thick smoke and blaring saxophone. Then she checked in with Minnie, bought a pitcher of beer, and halfway listened to some crazy poets chant a continent of promises with Congo drum and shakir punctuating the rhythms and a flute solo bursting out over the tastiest of love poems. Maybe she slipped into Connie's for some curried goat and coconut bread or sweated spices next door, as Leonard pulled another sweet potato pie out of the oven and poured his brown, red, biting sauce over smoking, tender ribs, telling stories as she savored another mouthful. Then, when the street was ours. She can see those days. She knows them. She remembers before imported cheese, before brandy-filled truffles, before double lattes, handmade paper cards. She sits on the iron rim privately owned bench to rest her feet and take the pinch out of her back. She holds the bitter in her mouth, sometimes spits it out at passerby, with steel in her stare. There on that bench, on that corner, on that block, on that street that was ours, that was hers, that was taken, that we let go, that is lost, that was Filmo. When the street held the people, and the musicians had names, and the rhythm was blues, and the downbeat was jazz, and the color was black and fierce, like her.
You've been listening to Keita read the poem Filmo Street Woman from River Meets Ocean by Devorah Major. This reading is part of Keita's playlist The Poets. This is James, and we're at the mic with Keita. Hello, Keita. Welcome to the mic.
Hello, James. It's great to be at the mic with you again.
Keita, this Filmo Street Woman's a beautiful character. Let's give her a name.
What do you want to call her?
Veronica.
Veronica. She sounds like a Rosalind to me.
Keita, if I had to choose a word that describes her, it would be resilience. What do you think?
When I was reading this, I thought of how Veronica, since you want to call her that, had to adapt to her new gentrified environment. And I think the key word would be adaptation, which kind of reminds me of resilience. But I like how we're reminded of the good times in her neighborhood.
Yes, but she spits the bitter from her mouth, probably telling everyone off about what she really feels.
All she has now is the memories to keep her alive.
Keita, I'm really looking forward to the next reading in this series. Thank you for joining me at the mic. To keep the channel going, please like and subscribe. Go to the description and our channel page for information on how to purchase books from our affiliate links. This is James. Keita and I thank you for listening.